Hi, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Prey vs. Predator. This episode is part of a series we're doing with a very special guest and friend of the pod, Sophia. She has such an incredible story, and we didn't want to cut it short. Some of the details of her story are really difficult to hear, so listener discretion is advised. Finally, quick reminder that we have a Patreon page. You can give as little as $3 a month to support us in our efforts to educate and arm the prey of the world. Thanks again for tuning in, and we really hope you enjoyed this episode.
I wonder, what did it cost you to leave?
It cost me the church. It cost me most of those people. I lost my entire friend group. They said, this is just the new normal. They would include him in things and not include me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Tell us about that. I find that so fascinating. So here's a guy, they knew what he had done to you.
Yeah.
How do you make sense of them supporting him? How did they make sense of supporting him?
Because they were also groomed. They're part of the church. So nothing a little love can't fix. So we're going to help him recover. So we're feeling empathy for him on all the ways that he's losing his family and all of this stuff is happening. Now they're trying to be empathetic to me.
Yeah.
But as soon as what happened was I drew a line in the sand and said, it's not okay. It's not okay for you to be Switzerland.
We've literally said that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
And
hilarious.
as soon as I
Yes.
set that boundary, I lost almost all my friends.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a war going on here.
Now I'm being controlling.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
You're being
absolutely.
re-victimized.
And
Right.
Here's
this,
the bad guy.
Yeah.
and this is re-victimizing the
Yeah.
victim. Yeah. I mean, I liken this to kind of that idea where we have somebody who's been raped, and like just a violent rape. Somebody breaks into their house, rapes them violently, and then that person is called to have to stand on a witness stand and defend their choice of panties.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
it feels like
She would have
that.
been wearing granny panties. This wouldn't have happened.
Right. Like if you hadn't had sexy red ones
Yeah,
on.
that's right.
Yeah.
Like
She was
I was
asking
like,
for
you
it.
have enough grace, enough mercy, enough kindness to have him do all of those things and still include him. But me not coping with the abuse
Yeah.
Yes.
is something you don't want around you. You don't have I can't be reactive. I can't be sad. I can't be hurt. Right?
You're right.
We had a vacation booked. They're like, well, if you're going to be sad the whole time, I don't know if that's going to work. And
They said this to you?
Who said this to you?
a friend.
Oh,
Yeah.
And also, like, we just need you to know, like, they added the newest affair partner. They all added her, on Facebook, almost like within 4 weeks. And they had drinks together.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, out with the old, in with the new. And I'm like, wow. And I'm bleeding out. I mean, we are not doing well.
No. How would
I'm
you?
a strong woman. We are not doing well. My children are not doing well.
Well, you have just been ripped.
Yeah.
To
And the
shreds.
one thing was like, can we tuck in with you for a vacation that we've done every year?
Yeah.
Can we just tuck in with you?
No.
No. And guess who came to that vacation?
Yeah.
The two of them.
No, this is and this is like because the predator also weaves a narrative. This beautiful victim narrative where you are hurting them.
Yeah.
that's right.
Like my church family for the most part wrapped around the predator.
Yeah.
Literally wrapped around.
Yeah.
And we are here for you. We are your community. And, like we get it. She wore red panties. Like, how were you supposed to resist red panties? That you broke in, that, like this is the image that you destroyed somebody's life, that you ripped that you lied, cheated, stole, crushed, demeaned, devalued. Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's fine because you look sad and you look like a victim. Mm-hmm. But I looked angry and hurt.
Well, and you also went on with your life and didn't include this person. So to them, it's like you're leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though that's not the case.
Yeah. like mine said, well, she left me. No,
Right.
he left me.
Yeah.
I never left.
And it is stunning. But this is a phenomenon. I'd love to have you back at some point, and I'd love to chat more about this specific. I'd love to dedicate an entire episode around the community's response to predators, because they are so engaging, and because a lot of times the community members themselves are prey. The only way they can make sense of what happened is if you, the victim, are bad.
Yes.
That is the only way this makes sense to their prey brain.
Yes.
And please.
I got to write that down.
Well, we're going to dedicate an episode.
We're recording this, just so you know, Jill.
So if I would have had my 2 friends that stuck with me,
Oh,
right? I had 2 friends that rode that out with me.
they
Kept me alive.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And we compassion must be paired with justice.
Yes.
Compassion without justice is abuse.
Yeah.
And if we don't understand this ourselves, and if we don't understand this as a community, if the church doesn't understand this,
Yeah.
we are in trouble. And in fact, we
are in trouble.
We have so many predators running so many different powerful institutions in our culture. And we're picking on the church today, but for good reason, because we come as prey with beauty, but we are not willing to see the devil. We are not willing to see evil.
Yeah.
And we are not willing to admit that maybe our brain cannot conceptualize evil. And maybe that lets evil run rampant and destroy and kill and maim. And if we do not put a barrier and say, not today, Satan.
Yeah.
If we can't do that, then we give a beautiful open door to every predator who walks in.
I agree.
And we give a big F you to every victim. And then we re-victimize and traumatize, and we wonder why people leave the church.
That's right.
And so I am so sad and sorry that is part of your story too. And it is not okay. And I want you to hear that from people who both are in the church, but also who have had that same experience. And if we don't say it,
I think it's universal. It's not just in the church.
yeah,
Right?
It is,
People
it
do
is.
not know what to do.
good
in
people
those
don't know.
Good people don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
The-
What to do.
The language behind, for the church, what did you hear any language behind these people's decision to choose the predator over the prey?
think the
Were they
mistake-
using language
I think part
rhetoric?
of it is we're taught this unconditional love. And so we want to walk it out. And people think that they're walking out their faith by unconditional love. But the truth is, relationships have to have conditions. Every relationship needs conditions. It's why we have vows when we get married. Those vows are things that we agree to together. I will be faithful to you. I will only be with you. I vow to walk with you in sickness and in health. These are the conditions of a relationship.
Honor.
I value to honor, respect. Yes. And so I think the lie was, if I unconditionally love you, I can somehow bring healing to you. It's not true. It's accountability. It's saying you broke a vow and I'm holding you to the table on this. You are responsible to account for what you're doing. And if you continue in this behavior, you are breaking the conditions of this relationship, and I'm withdrawing myself. Because I have to protect me, because guess what? Love loves me too.
Amen.
Yeah.
So the cost to you was so significant to get out of this relationship.
Yes.
What would you say to somebody who is really scared because they know this is not cheap. This is not easy. This is like a death of sorts. But what would you say to somebody who's thinking about this right now, who's where you were and has this all ahead of them, what would you say to them?
I was blindsided in that space, so I didn't have time for this, but I wish I would have had time to prepare.
Okay.
I think creating a silent exit strategy where you start to figure things out because they want to control the narrative. They can, I had the financials stolen from the house, like all those things. So getting your financials in order, start to save some money, like have a plan, I think is really important. And then surround yourself with key women that understand, that really get it, like the women that are have some supports in place that can help you when you create that exit. And I would say leave silently. Don't even give them a chance to come back in, to try and manipulate you and suck you back in. I would have a plan and an exit and a support team ready and waiting for me.
So I'm also hearing you say they should still get out.
Get out. Absolutely.
Because
I should have gotten out if I could do it again.
Yeah.
That first time,
Wow.
I should have left. It hurt my children. I thought I was protecting them. Right?
Yeah. And
You
that's
do
the
it.
message. That's the message we get. Protect
Yeah.
the children by keeping things together.
Yeah. And then meanwhile, they're experiencing, they have a narcissist parent. Right? So they're experiencing their own abuse that I have to now help them relate to in their adulthood.
Yeah. So you would say, despite it all, despite all the costs,
Get out.
And-
It's worth it.
and what's life like on the other side now? Because this is a few years that you've been free
Yeah.
of the predator. What's life like for you now? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I've started to come back alive and rediscover myself. It took a while. I think I realized at the beginning, I don't even know what food I like. Wow. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know my preferences. I don't have a hobby because my life was so centered on the other people around me. So I'm trying to engage in a journey of self-discovery. What do I love? Right? What do I want to do? And I've gone back to school and I've started my master's in mindfulness. So I'm doing that and obviously building my career and doing those things. I'm watching my children recovering the consequences of that for mental health, where there was a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And I see them rising now. And so we're all rising. Are we there yet? I'm not going to, I wish I could say, whew, I'm good. It's good days. It's bad days. It's hard days. It's giving myself permission to have a bad day and being compassionate towards myself. I used to have to do it all, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm tired.
Yeah.
I found I was so tired. I had
So
to
many
rest
years
for
of giving.
so long. And now I can okay, I'm going to actually rest today and not not do it all and give myself permission for that. So those are the things that I'm building into my life now.
I love that for you and for your kids.
Thank you. Yeah.
And for all of us, because now we get you.
Yeah.
Like
The real,
when we as prey give so much of our strength and energy to the predator, then other prey don't get loved by us, don't get valued by it. We can't offer to people who would receive it and give it back. And so I love that we as a community get you. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
And we're just, again, so happy that you were here. I have this quote by Brene Brown that I think sums up what we're talking about here today. And she says, "Love is not something we give or get. It is something we nurture and grow. A connection that can only be cultivated between two people when it exists within each one of them." Like,
Yeah.
Brene, thank you.
She got it right.
Yep.
When it exists within each one of them. It does not exist when it exists in one and not the other, and the other uses the love of the one to consume and to crush the other one.
Yeah.
It can't exist. And she goes on to say, shame, blame, disrespect, betrayal, and the withholding of affection damage the roots from which love grows. So first, you have to both have it, which is not the case in any of our cases. Second, if you do have it, you can't do any of these things because it will damage the roots from which it will grow if you did have it. And then she says, just as the little icing on the cake with the sprinkles on the icing, love can only survive these injuries if they are acknowledged, healed, and wait for it, rare. You get to make mistakes in love. There's nothing that says there that you can't make a mistake, you can't drop the ball, you can't do something stupid. But it has to be healed.
Yes.
And it has to be rare. And if you are witness to someone who has been betrayed and disrespected and abused for years upon years upon years, and you wrap around them, that includes saying no to the person who abused them. That includes stepping in front, like Christ. I think of Christ with the woman in the rocks who was being stoned. He stepped in front of her and said, anybody who thinks they're better than this woman, let's give you some accountability. Not one of them took him up on it, but he stepped in front of her. He stepped in front of a lot of people who were abused. We have to step in front of the abused if we want to be loving. And so thank you to Brene. Thank you, Sophia. Man, your story is so powerful. And what a strong, courageous, loving example of pray you have shown us. And your family is very lucky to have you. We are lucky to have you today. I don't know if there's any other questions or.
Well, I do want to talk to you about your kids, but maybe we'll have you back and we'll have a little chat about kids. At the end of every episode, we have something called our Predator Awareness Kit, our pack. And that's where we talk about something that we heard today that really stuck out for us and that we want to hold close to ourselves throughout the week. And I took so many notes. I wrote down so much good stuff that you said. But I think in my Predator Awareness Kit, I'm packing ego cookies or just my awareness of ego cookies. How many times am I feeding ego cookies to anybody around me? That's clever.
Good point. It's not even just like, in these situations when we're dealing with our predator, but even in life.
Yeah, in life.
We tend to feed somebody ego cookies so that they feel good and they like us.
That's right.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that's what I'm putting in mine.
Brilliant.
PJ, Amber, what are you putting in yours?
I think I keep thinking about this idea of, because when I see you, which a lot of you are missing out, you are an amazing, vivacious person. And I think that there is this flame, this fire inside you, and that you never lost that. And that when it gave you the courage to maybe not fight for yourself, because I think in my situation I have to often, but maybe your fight for yourself is in the sense of this was your time to say, get out, this is over. And even if the community surrounds you, I know what I have and I know what I have to do. And so I think that is what I'm coming away with, which is like just as a prey. I think we were talking about this earlier. Sometimes people think, soft and open-hearted, but there is a strength and there is a fire that's there. That maybe it's just a small little like tail light and people aren't going, wow, look at that big old fire. But it's a fire there. And it's not dampened by these people who want to snuff it out. So that's what I've seen in you. And it's very powerful.
It felt close to snuffing out.
Oh, yeah.
There was a time, but I'm grateful that the further away you move from the abuse, right? you can start to stoke it again, you know, and start to rebuild yourself, and that there is hope for recovery.
And it doesn't have
abuse.
Doesn't have to be a big fancy fire either.
No.
It can just be that little pilot light. It's like, this is mine.
Yeah, that's huge. I would say for the predator awareness kit is this idea that love has to be paired with justice. Because time and time again, you kept being asked of yourself and other people, and the message to you kept being love, love, just love, just love, just love, just love, as if you didn't exist, as if it was okay for you to be betrayed and hurt and crushed and demeaned and gaslit. And your job was just to keep loving. So that without the justice part, without the you count too, we can fall into that trap, especially as prey, because we don't stop and think about ourselves and about, we think about be loving, not about am I loved. So I think for prey to really make that moment where they ask themselves, do I feel loved too? Am I being loved? Do I feel safe and connected? So I would say we need to add that. Yeah.
Can I add one?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say that. For you, what would you say to
100%.
somebody?
That piece when you said compassion without boundaries is abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Because we are all empaths. We are all compassionate. I love people. I'll root for you.
Totally.
Right? But without that piece, right?
Yeah.
It becomes a cesspool of abuse. I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll have you back. We'll see you again. It's fine. So here's my question for all of you today. Is there something a predator says now in hindsight, or maybe it was your predator or just a predator in general, that you can laugh at? That makes you kind
I'm
of
already
laugh.
laughing.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so many.
I know there's so many. I'll start. I know you better than you know yourself was something that was said to me, and it drove me nuts. And it's ridiculous. It still makes me angry, but it is funny. It's like, how dare you? No, you don't. How dare you know me better than I know myself? I'm in my body. You're not in my body. So that's mine. Anybody else?
Yeah, mine is, you don't have my best interests at heart.
Nice.
Isn't that
nice.
good?
So icky.
Imagine saying no to anybody who says that to you.
I'm laughing because my current partner actually has a list of sticky notes that people who worked with him have written as they heard his ex-partner do this, and
maybe we'll come back to it and get some more of those. But
they're pretty classic. One of my favorites of his from his ex-partner was, "I'm not Superwoman, but I'm pretty amazing." And one of my personal favorites from my ex-partner was, he had been just chastised by a therapist, or like a world-renowned therapist, who had said, his behaviors were abusive, and he had turned to me and said, "Well, it wasn't. That doesn't count for me, because the therapist was talking about a man with masculine energy, and I'm a man with feminine energy, and so it doesn't make any sense for me." So that's always been something that I have thought. It's just such a great example of just like total BS.
Yeah, it
doesn't make any sense, but it's just funny.
It's like saying, that doesn't count for me because that's for red-haired people.
Yeah.
And I'm bald.
Yes. That's for men with hair, and I don't have any.
Sophia, do you have a favorite?
Oh, I'm racking my brain. There's I mean, a regular one is, you're just so sensitive.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that is a classic. Yeah, that is a classic.
I still can't laugh at that one.
But this is what happens. We do develop a dark humor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We'll say something and then we'll look at each other and say, you're just so sensitive.
See, she can say it to me and I laugh. Because you're a prey. And it's safe. Isn't that funny?
So
Anyways,
interesting.
thank you. Thank you all for sharing. Little giggle before we go today.
And so for any of you guys that are listening, if this podcast has touched something inside of you, deep inside of you, please reach out to us. We are here for you.
You can check us out on social media at Prey versus Predator. The link can be found in the description of our podcast. Thanks, everybody.